Welcome to this episode of The Good, the Bad and the Odd. We're your host, Mark and Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hello.
Okay, so this one we're doing another Hammer. I think it's like the 20th or 19th Hammer movie we've done, something like that. This one is The Reptile, made in 1966, back to back with Plague of the Zombies, so you'll see a lot of the similar sets. Stuff like that. And there's a few shared actors too, but in particular Jacqueline Pierce is in both movies. So The Reptile, we're going to spoil this from the beginning, let's just say that.
Yeah, it's a 7-year-old film.
Yeah, and I suspect anyone interested probably seen it already. What's your general impression of this one?
I'm starting to feel the sameness of all these films. Yeah, you will bear with them. In the next couple of films, it starts getting real good. It's like the quality definitely. You know how good it was at the beginning, and then it dipped. After, say, the Dr. Jekyll film, it kind of got samey. With the odd exception, they were all they haven't been great, have they? They haven't been great. They've been a bit tame. That's the trouble with them. Yeah.
I quite like this one, but it isn't great. I acknowledge it isn't great. It reminded me. It felt like the plot was almost like the Gorgon.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like, okay, we've got another female, like, kind of distinct. First off, a female monster.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I actually think this is a better film than The Gorgon, even though Gorgon had Cushing in that weird beard thing. Well, mutton chops. I think this was a better film, actually. Personally, it just worked. There was a couple of people in it that I really liked. It's hard to top Cushing, fair. Yeah. But I just felt the story was put together. It was written by Anthony Hines, who and directed by John Gilling. So not your usual Hammer crew. So it wasn't Terence Fisher. The set design was still pretty decent, and the music was okay. Even though it wasn't James Bernard, but it did sound kind of James Bernardy, didn't it? It was kind of bombastic. So set in Cornwall again, much like Plague of the Zombies, and a place called Clagmore Heath, where people seem to be dying by what the locals call the Black Death. Basically, they foam at the mouth and the skin goes black.
Yeah, the skin, it kind of goes greenish. It looks like they've been just sort of like Nickelodeon slimed.
Yeah, a bit of that. And a man who dies at the beginning. We see him like wandering around this house, and something bites him. A human shape bites him, and then it's called The Reptile, and the poster kind of gives it away, right?
I will say these are very Doctor Who monsters.
They're a bit.
In fact, I'd argue the Silurians look better than these reptiles. So.
I actually thought the makeup was all right, actually, myself. Yeah. I thought it was better than the Gorgon, that's for sure.
Yeah, the Gorgon was just kind of plastic snakes.
Plastic rubbery snakes.
By default,
It was basically an Alice band with snake heads attached, wasn't it? The Gorgon? Yeah. But this one, there was a lot more to it. Basically, a guy gets bitten at the beginning. He visits a house. We see this man. And we do see this man later who's called Dr. Franklin, who seems a bit of a dick.
I feel like this was rewritten from another, like a franchise one. And they were like, maybe we're doing a bit too much of, like, not Dracula or Frankenstein. And we got to pull back and just do it as a separate one.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just because it's like the neck biting and the, like, just sort of Dr. Franklin. And it's leaning in a bit much, and it's like this kind of has a rewrite written all over it.
They definitely had neck bites, which were very vampire-like, but they poisoned people rather than drain them of blood, right? So this guy moves. This guy dies. His brother turns up and arrives with his new bride Valerie, and they're determined to live there. They get made friends. By the only person that's friendly to them is the publican called Tom Bailey, who's played by Michael Ripper. I really liked him in this. I think it was really good. He got a lot more to do than we usually see him, and he delivered. I think. Yeah. He was probably the most likable character in the whole thing, frankly, because
way better couple, than the lawyer that we see.
Yeah, and the couple who are the leads in this are a bit dull. And the only other one with any presence is the Dr. Franklin's daughter, Anna, who is Jacqueline Pierce, who was in Plague of the Zombies, went on later to be quite famously be Serverland in Blake 7, and she's a real powerhouse in Blake 7, and you can kind of see a bit of this. She's got some presence, but she's still quite a timid. The character she's playing is quite timid, isn't she? And over basically dominated by her father somewhat. And in addition, they got this servant they call a Malaysian, who doesn't really speak much, but he's a bit odd and kind of is always watching stuff going on, and stuff like that. But
literally credited as the Malay.
Harry Spalding, who's inherited the cult, is walking on the moors, and suddenly he gets attacked, and it's by an old bloke called Mad Peter.
They're very efficient with the use of names in this.
Mad Peter, yeah. It made me think of Mad Crazy Ralph in Friday the 13th. It's kind of there's a good tradition in horror films of a slightly eccentric or weird character laying out some warning, you know, you're doomed. It's all that sort of stuff, right? Like Crazy Ralph. So Mad Peter kind of says there's something going on. And we also hear weird music that sounds like snake charming music. Right, we do hear that, right? And Peter says, "Yeah, could you hear it?" and all this. But then Peter gets a bite to eat, then he clears off. He basically gets all narky and then clears off. But then they find him later with his face gone black and foaming at the mouth and all that. In an attempt to go to help him, he goes over to Dr. Franklin's, knowing he's called Dr. Franklin. And he's saying, it's not my concern. He goes, well, okay. And after a couple of minutes of two back and forth, he says, I'm a doctor of divinity. It's like, tell him straight away, dude. He's trying to save a life. You know what I mean? It's gone away.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. It's so they then go. Tom and Harry dig up. Is it Mad Peter's corpse or the brother's corpse?
It's the brother's corpse.
Okay, and then they find this blackened face and a strange neck wound. And they actually, I think they mentioned, have you ever seen anything like that? He goes, yeah, once in India, a king cobra bit a man. They actually say that, right? So they basically also find that Mad Peter and the brother died of the same thing. There's something going on. Going on. And then Harry gets this message to go visit the doctor's house. Is it the doctor's house? Yeah. And when he goes, he gets bitten by the weird reptile creature.
Yeah, he gets bitten by the reptile.
And he manages to get home and slowly recover, which is very much what happened in the Medusa, isn't it? He kind of saw the Medusa partially
for a bit, and then he it's just the Gorg. This is just the Gorgon retreaded, except with a bit more like racial edge to it.
So we basically find out right at the end, there's exposition right at the end to say this doctor was interested in weird cults and a snake cult in particular who somehow cursed Anna or something. And there's a fight between Franklin and the Malay, and
a fire starts. This whole end bit is the end of Plague of Zombies. Fire gets started while they're fighting.
I bet it was the same footage.
Yeah,
it looked quite impressive though. Anna, as the reptile, tries to bite Valerie, but then gets caught in the fire. So they all scarper and the house burns down. And that's it. It's a really simple story.
Really, for an hour or 40 odd minutes, it's
hour
really, something. Yeah, there's not much plot. Like it's really
I have seen a cut, not a novelization, but like a comic strip version of this as well in a comic or a magazine called The Hammer House of Horror. They used to sometimes create cartoon strip versions of stories. Like there's quite famous ones. I think they're probably worth money now. Like of Quatermass stories, for example. Yeah. And I think the Reptile was one of those. So it was okay. It's the best I could. I think Jacqueline Pierce and Michael Ripper were the best things in it, actually. But we don't even see that much of Jacqueline Pierce. What did you think of Jacqueline Pierce? Was she okay?
She was pretty. Just fun.
Yeah.
In a quite boring movie of very stoic people.
Yeah.
She. More fun.
So. It was. I felt that only Michael Ripper and Jacqueline Pierce had any personality. Frankly, it was kind of flat.
Bleeding. I'm gonna keep going on about that lawyer because that was a messed up scene. It's just like, your brother was poor and his stock's virtually worthless.
Yes, you'll get nothing.
You'll get nothing except the house.
You get nothing.
Worthless.
And I wouldn't. And even if you sell it, it ain't worth much. It was kind of, God, cheer up,
Like the guy's brother died.
Yeah.
He's literally on leave from the army. You don't need to go on about how little this guy had. So.
Now, there's some weird critical reactions to this film. So one critic wrote, there are some inconsistencies in the script. Oh, yeah, really. The film is handsomely mounted and delivers its share of shocks. Yeah, not really. It wasn't really scary at all, was it? Maybe the beginning, right? I mean, I don't know. And they call it moodier than its companion piece, which they call The Plague of the Zombies. I think it must have been released as a double bill, Plague of the Zombies, which would make sense because it kind of looks the same. But the critic does note that Jacqueline Pierce is terrific. And overall, another thing said it's superb, which I think is a bit strong. The Monthly Film Bulletin said it's got a controlled dignity for a Hammer production. Instead of the customary bloodlettings, we're invited to observe the nervous curiosity, the slow self-destruction of a proud and superstitious... Oh, God, this is going on. I'm not going to get it going.
That was by Anthony Hines, wasn't it?
This film has quite some merit. And then, but Kevin Thomas in the Los Angeles Times said, the script is too silly, but for all the most uncritical. So, I think we're probably more in that camp, really. It was basically a retread of the Gorgon, wasn't it? It really, really was. And I think this might have been made before the Gorgon, but the Gorgon came out first. I think it's probably more likely the Gorgon is just retreading the script of this. Not that it matters much. I mean, it's not a great script. It's not like, oh, this is so good, we should just redo it, right?
Yeah.
There is a bit of that. I didn't think it was all that. You didn't think it was all that, right?
It's pretty bad.
So I'm not sure. This is going to be one of our shortest podcasts, really.
Yeah.
We haven't 13 minutes. We're struggling. Already. Wow.
The guy who wrote this apparently wrote a treatment for Godzilla versus the Wolfman.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the one-line summary of Godzilla versus the Wolfman consists of a werewolf appearing in Japan, becomes irradiated, grows to an enormous size. This giant wolfman encounters Godzilla in the countryside, and the two monsters battle. My God, there's production shots. Okay, this got further along than I thought.
The Japanese became kind of obsessed with trying to get Universal monsters into Godzilla. I mean, they did it with Frankenstein monster, didn't they? Frankenstein Conquers the World.
Yeah.
And then that got its own sequel, which is one of the best, in my opinion, which is War of the Gargantuas. What else were they going to do? What Creature from the Black Lagoon?
I just sent you a picture of the Wolfman in this.
Okay, film. Let's have a look at this. That is.
It looks like the.
It looks a bit like Attack on Titan character.
Oh, really?
Well, the body, maybe not the head. I mean,
it's a very buff Wolfman.
It's a buff. He's got a six-pack, hasn't he?
I like that one of the pictures is Nick Cage holding a poster of it because there's so little actual stuff about this.
Okay. Right. So yeah. I'm was there any other good things about it? Anything else you like?
No, not really. Like,
what do you think of
I don't even
Ripper?
think that. Yeah, he was fun, but like, there wasn't that much of him in it. Like there wasn't that much of much in this film. Like, I can't remember any music. Like, I couldn't hum it. I literally just watched it, and I couldn't hum you the theme.
No, that's fair. I couldn't hum the theme, but I do remember it. I remember the Snake Charming music specifically, but I also remember because I was thinking this sounds like they were really trying to rip off James Bernard here, but they didn't get him in to do it. It sounded, It was a bit odd. It wasn't as good as James Bernard. I kind of like Mad Peter. That was kind of fun. But honestly,
simplicity of a character called Mad Peter,
played by John Laurie, who is in Dad's Army and plays a kind of similar character in that. It does say you're doomed, you're all doomed. In Dad's Army, so it's kind of a similar character to this. So not really much weight.
Yeah, this is not a recommendation from
now
me.
We have got another. I'm trying to figure out whether we continue because we got another one called The Witches, which we could do, but I'm kind of tempted to skip it because the one after that we're getting much more towards Frankenstein and stuff, so we're getting much more classic gothic horror, and I think we've suffered enough. Really, so I think it might be we just skip to more Frankenstein and get there's some really great ones. 67. We kind of stuck in 66 in it, so I think next time we'll just go on to.
Yeah, looking at this, there's a lot of film. I'm just at the Wikipedia thing for Hammer Horror. There's a lot of 1966 films.
Yeah, and I feel there was definitely some sort of sea change in 67 where the films were so much better because we're talking Quackmass and the Pit and The Devil Rides Out and stuff like that, which are stone cold classics. But there's also bananas ones like
look at all these list of names. Frankenstein created woman.
Frankenstein created. Well, that's the one we're going to be doing next. Frankenstein.
Is that a good one?
They're all good.
Okay,
Cushing as Frankenstein. Okay. But we got, for example, we got one coming up. You will not believe when you see it, called The Lost Continent. I'm pretty sure you'll love it. You'll love it. I mean,
I'm assuming that's like a Land That Time Forgot sort of deal.
Yes.
Okay.
More bonkers.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. You need to see it. It's the only other Dennis Wheatley wrote The Devil Rides Out, and he was he wrote books about the occult, but The Lost Continent was him doing something completely different, and it's bananas. It's one of those. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it too much.
Yeah, we're talking about the completely different film.
Different film, just the film. The Lost Continent is a film of two halves. The first half is like a drama set on a boat, and then it goes bananas. Absolutely bananas. But we got about 4 films before we get to that, and some really good ones too. So I'll give you an idea of what's coming. We got Frankenstein Created Woman. We've done 1 million years BC, haven't we? So so we're not going to do that. Mummy Shroud, which I don't know what that's like, but it's a mummy film, so it might be right. Quackmass in the Pit, which is awesome. The Devil Rides Out, which is awesome. Dracula Has Risen from the Grave. That's where Dracula starts getting really bloody and gory and stuff. The Dracula movies, and then The Lost Continent, and then Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed. Another Frankenstein, and then Taste the Blood of Dracula, which is another really good Dracula film. And then we get into the 70s, which is late cycle Hammer, where there's a lot more nudity and blood. They kind of held off on the nudity, but once the 70s kicked in, it really ramped up with things like The Vampire Lovers and stuff like that. But we'll see. There's one bizarre Frankenstein movie which doesn't have cushioning, which is so weird. We'll get to that. Anyway, just to feel the time. Yeah, this is bad. Yeah, it's not even 20.
Yeah.
Just talking about other stuff. Yeah, the Reptile has been. Yeah. We're at the bottom of the bathtub with Hammer at the minute.
Yeah.
We're just about to start.
Kind of I don't think we had a Universal this bad.
No.
Let me rephrase that. A Universal this undiscussable.
Yes. There's always something to talk about.
I think was it Oscar Wilde? It's like the worst crime is to be boring.
Yeah, and it was this. I think it was better than the Gorgon, and I really like Plague of the Zombies. You weren't such a fan. I think it was Rasputin was okay, but I really didn't like Dracula Prince of Darkness. I can't remember. Did you like that? I thought it was boring.
I think I liked it. I can't really remember it that much.
Yeah. We certainly get some better Dracula on the way. I'd say. Anyway, all right, let's wind it up there because we're like dragging. We're
kind of fishing
dredging the bottom of the barrel here to try and fill this out a bit. Yeah, so we're not particular fans of the Reptile. It was okay. I think seeing it once is enough, right? It's probably it. All right then. So let's wind up there. Bye from me.
Bye.